Good morning. Shall we learn how to fly a drone today? I got a pretty good idea. I think we're going to be okay. But I got our stuff mixed up, our manganese sulfate there. We got a little bit of water, and we're going to go and try and run a practice flight and go to the field and do it. So, wish me luck. I've made it over to the fields that we need to spray. There's kind of a group of them over here, and we've got enough manganese sulfate for 27 acres. But we're actually going to be in 4 different fields to do it. Prime example is these beans right here, and they're yellow. I'll go out there in a little bit and show you a little closer the symptoms and what we're seeing here. But it's in our muck, our high organic matter soils, where we see it the most. It definitely shows up worse in beans than it does in the corn across the road. But corn does get manganese deficiency. We're going to spray the corn as well. We've only got maybe 4 or 5 acres in this cornfield, and we'll probably only do one application there, where the beans will probably come back 2 more times this year to spray them. So I'm going to get everything set up here. I'm going to teach myself how to run this. I've got it, like I said, I've got a pretty good idea. I've been working with the guy I bought this from and getting the tips and gone through everything on the controller, and I've even got all our fields and everything set up. So I pretty well know what I'm doing. But I do want to give it a test flight and with some actual liquid through it now that I can actually fly it. But you're probably not going to see any of that. And so when I get comfortable here, we'll go. I think I got it. It's flying. I don't know where it's going. It's over there. All right, that is cool. All right, well, we flew a test flight, and I just went down and back out here, let it use its thing, and then we switched to a different field that I created where it's just doing the muck pockets and the portions of the field that I wanted. I just basically made it a new field, and we're on our first flight with that. It's working. So for us, this is 2 different fields, but they both have the muck pocket, and I want to spray them both. So with the drone, I'm just spraying them as one. Here it comes. Oh, that is awesome. My boundary areas are probably a little bit bigger than they need to be. Really, we just need to be spraying the yellow beans here, but better to overdo it than underdo it, so. That is so cool. So it's empty, and it's coming home to land. And it should land right there on the trailer, right where it took off from. Okay, we're on our second tank here now, and I'll just show you this a little bit. Here's our controller. So this is the area that we're going to spray. I marked out a spot over there that's high ground that doesn't need to be sprayed, so it goes around that. And the green is what it's done, basically. I don't do anything. I just sit here and watch it. We're spraying 4 gallons to the acre, so a little bit higher rate than what we would maybe normally do with this. But I want good coverage, and we're only doing 27 acres, and I needed enough volume in my tank for my mixer to work. So that's why we're doing that. I think that's cool. Well, the drone's over there just behind that tree. Still spraying. It's gonna get some of this point over here done on this one. Thought while we got a second, I would walk out here and show you what manganese deficiency in soybeans looks like. It looks like this. Yellow leaves with green veins. Interveinal chlorosis. Uh-oh. Hold on. No, it was sensing a obstacle. It was close to a tree, but it kept moving. Didn't actually stop. So you see the little screen down there, that tells you how close an obstacle is if it detects one. It's actually up on the other side of the house. I thought it was going back here, but it's doing those point rows over there, those short rows over there. Okay. All is good. Anyway, yeah, this interveinal chlorosis here, these yellow leaf tissue with green veins, that's a manganese deficiency. The muck, this high organic matter, black soil, it really ties up that manganese in the soil so the plants can't get it. So by putting it on foliar here, it'll get absorbed right through the leaves. I'm willing to bet that if we come back tomorrow, maybe the day after, these beans down here are as green as the ones up on the high ground that doesn't have the high organic matter and the manganese is not tied up. It'll make an instant difference, but it also doesn't last the whole season. You know, a couple weeks from now we'll probably be seeing the same thing and have to come back. Also, we got a few weeds out here. Dad sprayed this the other day, but he just used glyphosate. I don't know if those are gonna die. We may, probably not today, but no, maybe this afternoon actually, mix up a tank load of Liberty and spray it with the drone. Now, we can do that, but we gotta use 5 gallons to the acre, which is fine, it's no problem. And hopefully we can clean up some of these weeds that are out here that don't appear to be dying at all. Well, some of them are dying. That giant rag is gonna die. But some of this other stuff out here is not dying so much. I think this is water hemp. We don't fight water hemp very much, but I'm pretty sure that this is water hemp, which is not good news for us. That is a huge weed for guys out west or different areas, most of the country really. And this is the most I've ever seen of it. This little patch here. So I don't like that, but hopefully I can get out here with some Liberty and burn the crap out of it. So here's our trailer set up in action a little bit. You can see this shuttle's about empty now. Well, they're both about empty now. But I've got this mixer. I don't know if I can show you that very good. It's just a motor with a shaft and an impeller on it. And it's going to keep my agitation and mix everything until it gets down too low, which we're about to that point where it's not in the liquid anymore. In which case I'll just leave the pump on and recirculate it through that hole in the top. But that's keeping everything mixed and everything. And then we've got obviously the DJI generator charging our batteries right here. That one is charging, this one's already done. It's keeping up with the drone pretty well. And then I've got the other generator over there that's running the mixer and that pump, and we're charging a controller battery over there with that one. So I didn't want to pull too much off of the DJI generator to run auxiliary stuff and take away from charging the batteries, so that's why we did that. So that battery is fully charged now, and we're still flying. Oh, it just ran out. So now the drone's going to come back to us. Nope, maybe it didn't run out. It was just turning. .1 gallons left. It's doing some short rows back there, yeah. Now it's empty. This gray area here was kind of my exclusion zone where I said this is high ground. It's like there's a hill, and so it doesn't need to spray that. But then there's another muck pocket back here that I did want to spray, so that's what it's doing. Anyway, now we're going to reload. Well, that completes that field. Now I've got a little bit across the road we're going to try and do. So I got to set it up here, reload it in my controller basically. We want that one, just that one. We want that field. We're going to edit it a little bit and spray it. Should just be 2 tank loads over on this side. Like I said, the corn you can't see the manganese deficiency as much, but if you look over there, there's some yellow streaks and they're right on the edges of those muck pockets. That's what that is. So we're going to hit these here once. There's a little bit over there by where it's at now, but just a small area here, just a couple tank loads for this spots. You can see its elevation changing too. It's following the ground contour, so it's keeping it a consistent 10 feet above the crop height and not just the constant elevation. That is so cool. We moved down the road here a little bit. We were down there, we jumped to the other side of the house because this is kind of our next field. I apparently did some math wrong somewhere because, well, I'm about empty and I've still got a fair bit to do. Must be more than 27 acres here. I don't know where I came up with 27. I think I came up with like 30, but then there was some spots that I wasn't going to do, so I thought it was a little less than that. And then, but I'm off. I think we need to mix up a whole nother 27 acres worth here, maybe. I don't know. This is the shape of what we're doing in this field. It's mostly the muck that's along this ditch that we go around, and then there's a big pocket over there, and there's a big pocket back over there. But in the center of that pocket, we don't actually farm it, so that's the gray zone there. So, yeah. Oh well, we'll get it. Well, here's a lesson I just learned. So we've got a ditch. It starts down there, runs all the way up to the road, but this field goes around it. And so this little triangle piece in here by the house and where we're at over on the other side are all part of the same field. But the ditch, I map around as a boundary, like it's excluded from the field because it's, obviously we can't farm through it and we can't even get across it over here. So I mapped it that way on here. Problem is the drone won't even fly across it unless I do it manually. So it finished down here and it was gonna fly all the way around to get over to the other side there. I need to not map it that way. I need to map that just straight across and then go around the ditch as a non-spray zone. So it can fly across it, it just won't spray it. That would make this way more efficient. Okay, I got everything loaded back up here. We're out of product. I didn't even look to see how many acres we did spray. It had to be close to 27. We did not get all of this done that I wanted to, but also a lot of it doesn't actually have any beans growing in it. There's some drowned out spots that are the muck spots that are the low ground that would typically be manganese deficient, but there's not anything growing there, so we don't really need to spray it. Which makes it a little hard to figure out how much we do need to do, but we've got another field up here, I'll show you as we drive past, that also needs sprayed, and there's going to be a fair bit there. So problem is those bags are 55-pound bags, and we want 2 pounds the acre, which puts us at 27.5 acres per bag. Which is good, it's fine, except for that means I have to do it in 27 acre batches. Those beans, see the yellow out there? I can fix that if we just spray them. They don't look too bad other than that. Dad sprayed that with glyphosate on Sunday. The ragweeds out there are all dying. But glyphosate also has a tendency to flash some manganese out of beans as well, so hitting them right now would be a good idea. Dad's getting some boards up. Boys are helping. They're living their best life here. Dad, he pulled the disc out of there and got it hooked up. He's a little concerned. Okay. For the past 20-ish years, our area has had some wheat field fires almost every year. 3 times in that span, they have gotten some of our wheat fields. Once it was a field at Berkey, twice closer to here. And it makes us nervous because basically there's an arsonist going around setting wheat fields on fire. Sometimes right before harvest, sometimes right after, but as the wheat is dry and mature, and those fires can spread quickly. And so Dad decided that we should have our disc hooked up so that we can be ready if something were to happen. So anyway, he got that hooked up to the 9R and got it out of there because it was in his way anyway. So all right, it is several hours later since we finished spraying this morning. I had to get Brock set up with the stuff he needed to go to Berkey to wash. He's washing our anhydrous bar and going to bring the grain cart home. Hopefully, that's the goal. And then we had my chemicals company sales rep stop by, so we talked to him for a while about spring and herbicides and whether everything is working like we want, and yeah, all that good stuff. And I just got loaded up and mixed up. We got 2 different products, 2 different shuttles here. We've got more of our manganese. We're going to spray some more of that. And then I mixed up a shuttle with some Liberty in it. And in reading the Liberty label, it is labeled for aerial, which I knew that it was. I thought it was 5 gallons. It's not. It's 10 gallons. So I think we can spray 10 gallons with our drone. We might have to go a little slow. We'll see how that works. But we'll finish our manganese and then we'll spray that Liberty. That Liberty or glufosinate, it works best when it's hot and humid. So middle of the afternoon is the best time to spray that. Anyway, it is lunchtime. I'm gonna stop at my house and grab some food, and then we'll go spray. Back out here spraying. Yeah. All right, so we're doing this field here. You can see the same symptoms of these yellow beans, so we're gonna fix that. Our manganese. Got a couple more loads to spray on this side, and then this field across the road is the one we were spraying earlier when we ran out. We were parked down there, but we were spraying out here, so we'll go back in and finish that one. And I don't know if what I've got mapped is enough to use up what I got mixed up or not. If not, we'll either could save it or we could just find somewhere to spray it. Go outside the areas that I had already marked out and spray a little extra. Then we're going to get to our Liberty, which is in the other totes. And yeah, that over there, that looks like it needs it real bad. Doing our perimeter pass. Coming right at us, thought maybe we'd be able to see that pattern. You can see how wide it gets. Kind of. Now it's going to go along the road here. Doing its thing. So far my setup seems to be working fairly well. The biggest issue is remembering to switch the batteries to keep them charging and not have a full one sitting there and an empty one or a discharged one not charging. If I can do that, I can keep up. It's going all right. Good. Yeah, we definitely learned our lesson about field shape with that one. She was pretty inefficient, but we're finishing the perimeter up of it now, and that's all I really wanted to do with the manganese. I've got less than 1 sprayer load left in there, so we're going to spray that out. We'll put it in when this one comes back, and then we'll just go farther down that way in the field that we didn't already spray and use it up there. No big deal. And then we're going to start using up our Liberty, and we're going to start in that spot there, see if we can't kill all those ragweeds that are out there. That solid mat of off-colored green is giant ragweeds. We can kill them. There might be some grass in there too. I don't know. It almost looks like Dad did not put any pre-emerge herbicide on there, which that bottom where all that green is did not get planted originally. That was something Phil came back in and planted really late when it finally dried up. So it wouldn't surprise me if Dad didn't spray that. And that's what happens. Well, we've switched products. We're spraying our Liberty now. This is the area of this field that I decided to spray, and I don't know if I recommend spraying at high rates, high volumes. It's going to take me a while. It's pretty slow going here. I did narrow my spray width up because I want better coverage. I want to make sure we get good coverage. And we also had to slow down because we're maxing out the pumps on here with the high volume, and so even with the narrower spread width, we had to slow down to be able to get the coverage, the gallons per acre that we're trying to do. But we'll get there. I only got 10 sprayer loads to go, and they go as fast as it can spray it out, so it'll be quick. It won't take that long. Finishing this one up, it's making a pass around the boundary. We'll find out in a couple of days whether this is any good or not, and this, you know, whether we can spray with the drone and get good coverage enough with Liberty, or if we should not use Liberty in the drone. I think it'll work all right. Pattern looks decent. Getting a little breezy here now. This one along this edge, but we got a buffer between the road and the field anyway, so it's fine. We've got to move back down to where we were down the road there this morning. We got just a couple more loads to spray out down there, and then we're done. All right, we're gonna spray this corner. There's like 4.5 or 5 acres here we're gonna spray, and then we should be done, and we should have just about the right amount in our tank for that. So yeah, all is good as long as it just keeps going. We're having a pretty good first day spraying with the drone. As long as our weeds die, we're spraying. I'm happy with everything. We're done. I'll have to look at the logs and see what exactly we did today, but it was quite a few acres, 70-ish, 75 maybe. And I mean, I didn't run it for 3 hours this morning, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, well, we're done. Here's a screenshot with some of today's stats. This is just actual spraying chemicals and stuff, not my water test flights and everything, but we did 73.81 acres, 327 gallons, I think it said there, something like that. You can see it, I can't see it right now. 3.5 hours of actual flight time. It doesn't feel terrible. We're moving. We're gonna be able to cover some ground. If we get into corn fungicide or something later in the summer and we're like, everything's ready to go, we can just go spray all day. We can do 200 acres a day pretty easily. Anyway, I got a delivery today. Let's open this package up. Yeah, that's our 360 fertilizer injection pump. All right, well, we'll figure this out. We got to mount that box, do a little wiring, and then it's just a matter of hooking our 1 3/4 inch hose up to here, and should be good to go. I don't think this is going to be too hard to install. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Got the new tires and freshly painted rims on the truck. Looking nice. We need some covers for them hubs. Wheat's changing here. Ooh, look at that. Getting close. All right, well, I was out talking to Dad and we wanted to go look at the wheat. That's closer than I thought. Wheat's coming fast. Not today, probably not tomorrow, but I can't say anything beyond that. So anyway, I want to get everything around that I need to install this pump in this box and stuff, which everything is included except for being able to connect it to my breaker panel. All we have to do is be able to connect this box to the breaker panel. And so I think we're just going to run some flexible conduit just like this. Is that just half or is that 3/4? What's it say? Does it say? I've only got to run 4 12-gauge wires. It's 3-phase, but only pulls 10 amps, half. Okay. I'm going to run to our hardware store and see if I can't get like 10 feet of flexible conduit and a couple of connectors. We should be able to use that to get into our electrical panel up there. We might go 3/4 just because, but yeah, it won't take much. I found what I needed. That was outrageously expensive at our local hardware store, but well, they had it, so I got it. It's good, I guess. Anyway, we need to drill a hole in the bottom of this box. It's going to be easier here than it is in the field, so we need a hole for this to fit into. Well, there's that. So we got to come in with power and come into the top of those breakers there. It says 10 amps, so like 12-gauge wire is plenty. And yeah, it should be pretty easy to do. I was reading through the directions on how to install this a little bit. I don't think it's going to be too hard. I don't think it's going to take too long. We got to drill a couple holes in the bottom of the base station box. We got to drill a hole or find a knockout in the breaker panel. And then just a matter of connecting wires to the terminals and stuff and where they go. I've got a breaker. Excuse me. I got a breaker. I got to find some 12 gauge wire to run to that, which I'm sure we have. And then, yeah, everything else, the pump and everything is pre-wired. It's got, connectors and everything. We've got to install this as one of the holes that we need to drill is for this in the base station. And then the wires, they tell you what terminals all those go into. Pretty simple and straightforward, easy to do. Got a big wire harness here that plugs into the bottom of that box. Obviously, there's that wire, goes into the bottom of the base station. And we just plug everything in. And then hook our 3/4 inch hose from our nurse tank right there. Pretty simple, easy to do. Shouldn't take terribly long. Saying that, we'll make it take twice as long, but hey, we'll see if we can't get it done in the morning and make that work. I haven't been up there to check it today, but when I was up there yesterday, the injection pump that I have, it was still turning and pumping and running, but it wasn't actually pumping anything. I don't know if the seals are bad, if it's plugged up. I don't know. But I decided not to mess with it because I knew this one was coming, so I'm just going to put that one up there. Oh yeah, Brock made it back with our grain cart, so we can mess with that at some point here too. Look at the tar. Oh my God, Brock, look what you did. Oh. That's all from this trip, 100% from this trip on the tar-covered roads. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a nightmare to get off of there. Yeah. Great. Oh well, that's what happens when it's hot out and the roads are sticky. So we got to switch that, put that on the 8RX. Phil's been working on trucks and obviously that one out here, and then he's working on cleaning up grain system stuff right now. We got a little work to do on a semi-trailer that I'm really hoping to get done before weed harvest, but we're running out of time. Weed harvest is coming very quickly here. All right, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going home. Thanks for watching today. Exciting. We got the spray drone up and running and working, and I feel good about it. I think everything went pretty well. I don't know. Seems good. So, I don't really have anything more that needs to be done for a while. We're kind of caught up on the spraying. Next very well could be tassel fungicide on corn or another shot of manganese over there where we sprayed today. That might be the next thing. Who knows? So, I'm going to work on this pump in the morning. We might empty the spray trailer, the drone trailer, tomorrow, and then one of my warehouse customers needs 4 boxes of beans. Oh gosh. Yeah, he wants 4 boxes of beans. He's still planting. Either wants them tomorrow at 1 o'clock or on Saturday. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty specific, but okay, I'll see what I can do. But the good news-ish is that he's one of the 2 guys that I have a full load of boxes to pick up from anyway, so we got to make the trip. I can head up there with a few boxes, a few full boxes, and bring home a load of empties, and it'd be a good thing to get down out of the way. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great night. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you again in the morning. Weed harvest coming real fast. You're not going to want to miss this.